Lance made a significant impact on my life.
Gypsy is very anxious.
Haley loves people.
She would keep taking them in but never adopting them out. And he was tied up outside and lived basically under a tarp. He had no socialization with people at all.
When you think of a golden retriever, what comes to mind? For me, it is a happy, cheerful dog who loves people and to play. For the volunteers at Project Home Life, sadly, they know differently.
And I'm also the director of Project Home Life, which is my favorite position. And that is working with shy and fearful dogs. And we've created a rehabilitation program called Project Home Life. Probably one dog that made a significant impact on my life and how we do things in Project Home Life was a dog named Lance. And he came in from a woman that called herself an animal sanctuary. And she would keep taking them in but never adopting them out. So basically she had Lance from when he was 5 weeks old until he was 5 years old. And he was tied up outside and lived basically under a tarp. And so he had no socialization with people at all. When he came here, if you just looked at him, he would go flying into a corner and just shake and tremble. It was just such a neat challenge to me to try to bring a dog like this, to get them comfortable with people and try to get them to trust us. It took about 4 months for him to start taking treats from my hand, which is a long time. But it was so worth it, that first moment when I held out a piece of cheese and he just so lightly took it from my hand. It was such a significant step for him. And so then we kind of bonded and we built this relationship, Lance and I, and so I decided to adopt him. And it was a lot of work, but he taught me a lot how to be patient with dogs. He's the one dog that no matter what dog comes in here and no matter how traumatized they seem, I know that we can rehabilitate them. It just takes time and patience. We began Project Home Life in October of 2009. 35 volunteers that come in. We have people that come in every day to work with them. It's a continuing journey for the dogs once they get into a home.
So Gypsy has been with DVGR for about 2 months. She came into our program along with 2 other Goldens, one named Rosie and one named Cuddy. And we call them the greenhouse Goldens because they had been living in a greenhouse, and a Good Samaritan had driven by a number of times and seen them and was concerned about them, and finally was able to work with us to get them out of that situation and into rescue. And they had been used for breeding. Rosie and Cuddy have both been adopted. Gypsy is still here and she is very anxious. You can see her tail tucked and her back end shaking a little bit. That's from anxiety. And she's a very sweet girl, but she living in a greenhouse, and we don't know how long she had been there, but long enough to not have the same benefit of good socialization and good health care like other dogs do.
Or this is just one of many activities that's done at Delaware Valley Golden Retriever Rescue, Project Home Life. When they've become a little bit more adjusted, that we start working with them in this kind of a home setting to get them used to people. And some dogs need more attention than other dogs. We have Haley here and she loves people. But most of the dogs in Project Home Life come from situations where they're very afraid of people. And that's the focus of this whole initiative.
The Project Home Life program is just a branch of the Delaware Valley Golden Retriever Rescue located in Lancaster County. Altogether, DVGRR has placed over 3,200 Golden Retrievers into new homes. It is a nonprofit organization that relies on things such as donations and fundraising. They have one simple mission: to provide new beginnings for displaced golden retrievers.
I never give up hope on a dog.